Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Kurt Buckman's Fishing Fusion. So guys, it's finally time. I looked at all of your questions, and it's time to do the Q&A, everybody. The comments kind of plateaued, so what I'm gonna do now is pull up my laptop since I'm filming with my phone, and we're gonna read these comments. I'm gonna get to as many as I humanly can without making the video too long. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna search up Fishing Fusion on the interwebs. Nick, don't laugh at me. A nice solid even 120 views as of the time I'm looking at it. Yep, still 34 comments. It's been 34 comments like the past few days. The first question is from Thomas Civitoni. And his question is, who is the second greatest fisherman of all time after Thomas Civitoni, of course? Well, Thomas, this question implies that you are the greatest fisherman of all time, which is so unequivocally false. You are the f***ing drizzling shits at fishing. It is a miracle that you caught anything on the episode that you were featured in. And it is insulting to not only me, but all the viewers and anybody who has ever fished that you would even have the gall to claim that you are the greatest fisherman of all time. Anyways, a question from Allie. When will I be featured on Fishing Fusion? When we do an episode in Texas, Allie, which I've heard fishing is great down there, so maybe someday. When am I gonna fish in Shaw's? I'm not exactly sure where we can fish in Shaw's. The first thing that comes to mind is the lobster tanks. Yeah, no, maybe we'll do an episode in Shaw's. We are never filming in a store again. Never. Never. We'd probably get kicked out, but as long as Jonah's running things there, I don't think we're gonna get kicked out. So, thank you for the question, Jonah. From Jeff B, what is a fish? A fish is God's greatest gift to us as humans. There's literally no species that is better than fish. You know, people tell you that humans are the dominant species on this planet. I'd argue fish. They were the first. They were here way before us. They're just the best, man. There's nothing beats a good fish. Another question from Thomas. How big exactly is the big man in the background asking for a friend? Yo, Nick. Height and weight.
The big man in the background?
Yeah, you're the big man in the background. Thomas wants to know how big you are.
I'm big.
He's big. That's the answer. Will you do an episode with me where we become fish food critics and try fish from different places? Thomas, I don't know why you're asking these insulting, awful, vapid questions in which you are insulting my intelligence by implying that I would ever harm a fish beyond a pickerel. We're never gonna become fish food critics because we are never going to eat any fish because, as I answered in Jeff's question, fish are the best species, best animal to ever exist. Okay, so first of many questions from Josh. Which one of your friends has the best luck when fishing? Nick, easy. He catches the most fish, other than my dad, of course, but that's like, you know.
Who's your dad?
Yeah, no, it's definitely my dad. But in terms of, like, my friends, you know, like, people my age, definitely Nick. You know, Jonah hasn't caught anything. Thomas got really Thomas got, like, shiny Pokemon lucky. I don't know how he caught anything. When will Bobby Lashley be featured on Fishing Fusion? That will be the day where I can truly say that I can die a happy man. Yeah, I'm really hoping that we can get Bobby Lashley on the show, because he's great. That one's a bit of a shot in the dark in terms of people I can actually get on the show. What new ideas do you have for the show? I don't want to spoil anything, Josh. We do actually have a good amount of ideas for what we want to do in Season 2, but I don't want to reveal anything quite yet, the direction that we're going on. What qualifies as gross? Half the shit that comes out of your mouth, Thomas. Fishing or wrestling? Oof. That's a tough one. I think in terms of, like, having fun with my friends and just, like, going out and relaxing, fishing's definitely up there. But when it comes to just something that I just know a lot about for no reason, it definitely has to be wrestling. But I'd have to say, hobby-wise, fishing and wrestling are, like, my two favorite things. And keeping fish tanks, but I think that more falls under the category of fishing. But anybody who knows me knows that I eat, sleep, and breathe professional wrestling. If you kept one fish, what would you name it? I've named a lot of fish over the years. It kind of just depends on what they look like or what they remind me of. We had one fish that's an Malawi eye biter cichlid, and it had like this big chin, so we called it Leno, like Jay Leno. So it's kind of just like whatever the fish reminds me of, that's usually what I'd name it. Yeah, it's kind of, I'd have to see the fish itself. I'd have to really have this intimate relationship with the fish to be able to decide what I would be able to name the thing, because it takes a while. It's not something that it's something that comes to you. It's not something that just like you can think of on the spot. What inspired Fishing Fusion? So I've always wanted to do something where I've always wanted like a YouTube channel where I could like sort of be my own personality and character. And if anybody who knows me knows that Kurt Buckman on Fishing Fusion is just Kurt Buckman in real life times 11. So I kind of always want to be that like personality on some level. And like I like doing like things where like just sitting down and talking to people, man. It's great to be able to just sit down, talk, even if it's not related to fishing. And I figure like fishing's the perfect outlet to be able to do that. Like, you know what I mean? It's something that I know a lot about, and it's something that you can very easily chat with people over. So yeah, no, definitely a number of things, but I'd say the most part is just that I wanted to do something with my buddies, mainly, and hopefully this thing blows up. Farmhunt or Bedwars? That's a tough one, Josh. I'd have to say, just in terms of quality of game, I'd say Farmhunt is a far better game than Bedwars, just because Farmhunt is literally the greatest Minecraft minigame ever created. But Bedwars is probably the most fun to play with friends, and I do love Bedwars. Not as much as Farmhunt, but I like Bedwars. How many fish do I think I've caught in my life? Way too many to count, Josh. Way too many to count. Definitely in over 1,000. What's my favorite type of fish? It's kind of like, okay, so I basically divide fish into two categories. There's fishing fish and there's fish tank fish. When it comes to fishing fish, it's definitely the bass. Black largemouth bass is my favorite. When it comes to fish tank fish, the Lake Tanganykan frontosa cichlid is my favorite, and Joey can flash that on screen right now. What's one of the hardest fish to reel in of the types of fish that I catch, and if that fish had a wrestling name, what would it be? It's a question from Josh's dad. So the hardest fish to reel in is probably the pickerel, because they tend to snap their line and they're like the literal worst. It's not like a challenge with the bass, it's annoying. And if I were to give a wrestler name to a pickerel, I'd probably name it Sasha Banks, because it's terrible.
And if pickerels swallow the hooks, you're gonna get your finger.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, don't, if something is caught in a pickerel's mouth, do not, just cut the line. Nick's got the right idea. Dogs or cats? Dogs. Can I make monkey noises? I can make monkey noises, Jonah, but I'm not gonna do it on camera. Let's see, Batista? Yes, Batista. One of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. If you had to describe Fishing Fusion in 3 words, what would you say? Awesome, cool, inclusive.
Fishing and fusion.
Rate all the main characters in order from cutest to least cute. I'd say Thomas is the cutest, then everyone else is tied for second, but that's my opinion. Will there ever be Minecraft Fishing Fusion? Stay tuned. Alright, we got Dr. Pepper asking, who is your favorite Touhou character? Finally, a really, really good question. Okay, here's the thing. I've had this planned out for years of what I'm gonna say for this. Okay. So here's the thing. I love Touhou. Touhou is like my favorite thing. I love anything having to do with anime or Japanese animation. I love this. This is my Okay, so I think Chirino is one of my favorite characters in the Touhou franchise. Her boss theme is one of the best in the series. I think my personal favorite game, The embodiment of Scarlet Devil, she attacks Reimu... RH wanting to test her strength with her ice powers, and I think she has one of the best personalities in the game. Overall, I'm really glad Dr. Pepper asked me this question, and I would love to discuss it more with you. And now we got a question from Buck274, whoever that is. Why are you so freaking handsome? That's God-given looks, man. I have no control over that, but I appreciate the compliment. Buck274 also says, as a concerned viewer, I would very much appreciate it if the editor of this content would put an end to his use of music from the Hellspawn, otherwise known as Persona 5. Any action taken regarding this issue would be excellent. I've been trying to tell this unknown editor for years that he needs to stop, for the years that Fishing Fusion has been around, of course, that he needs to stop using music from Persona 5. Literally the worst video game on the planet. Not just the worst video game, the worst thing on the planet, but he refuses to indulge me and oblige those two terms. So, I very much appreciate that the viewers feel the same way that I do, and I will make sure that actually really take it. Okay, guys, that about wraps it up for the Q&A. I've answered just about every single question I could. And yeah, thank you all for all your questions. Even you, Thomas. Even you. So yeah, anyways, thank you all for each and every single question that you asked me. And yeah, I'd say this was a success. New logo, by the way. Check out how cool this shit is. And yeah, no, I pretty much gave all the updates I needed to in the last video, other than season 2 is coming this summer. We might have other content here and there to satiate you guys' appetite for Fishing Fusion. But yeah, other than that, that's it for now. This is literally all we had planned. This was kind of an on-the-whim thing. It's not necessarily something that we knew we were gonna do. But yeah, no, like 5 days? We didn't, this wasn't necessarily a very long thing, but I'm glad I got to interact with the community a little bit more. So, yeah, once again, thank you. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. And, yeah, that's just about it. Like I said in the last video, take care, guys, and stay tuned for some more Fishing Fusion. Take care.